Listener discretion advised. Fuck it, free speech, motherfucker!
Podcast presents information based on theory and conjecture. Creator's purpose is to suggest some possible explanation, but not necessarily the only ones to the mysteries we will examine. Remember, everything that you hear from this podcast comes from sources on the internet, and remember, if it's on the internet, it should be taken with a grain of salt and judge it by your own discretion.
Something wrong with the world, the perception led you to research and ask questions, and those questions led you to answers which led you here, to this small pocket dimension in the dark corner of the multiverse. Welcome to the Of Dark Matters podcast, where we discuss topics of the occult, conspiracy, paranormal, and world news. And now, your hosts, MoJoE the Mad and Dr. Clutch.
Yes, Dr. Clutch, take it away.
There is a dimension beyond the ordinary, a place where celebrity gossip becomes conspiracy theory before breakfast, where the person arguing with you on the internet may not actually be a person, and where your neighborhood camera knows more about your movements than the neighbors do. You have entered a world in which the paranoid and the plausible have become roommates. Tonight we begin with an actress, Hayden Panettiere, not sure how her last name is pronounced, and a conspiracy theory that reminds us of one of the fundamental laws of the modern internet. No event is so ordinary that somebody somewhere cannot construct an alternate universe around it. But while human beings are busy manufacturing conspiracies, the machines have apparently begun manufacturing business plans. An artificial intelligence chatbot sells NFTs. It makes money, and then exercising the impeccable financial judgment for which artificial intelligence is famous. At some point, ladies and gentlemen, science fiction stopped asking our permission. Meanwhile, above us, the UFO remains. But tonight, the question is not merely whether strange objects are moving through our skies. The question is whether someone wants us to believe strange objects are moving through our skies. Because the only thing more disturbing than discovering that UFOs are real may be discovering that the UFO story itself is the weapon. And down here on Earth, another set of eyes is watching. Flock cameras, license plates, databases, neighborhood surveillance, a technological system created in the name of security now finds itself at the center of a very human war over privacy, power, crime, and the ancient question, who watches the watchers? And then there's the Clancy thing. And yes, the Clancy thing we will enter carefully. We have also reached a particular cultural frontier where certain things may be discussed, certain things may be questions, and certain things apparently become equipped with an invisible electric fence. You are free to speak, provided, of course, that you say the correct thing. But perhaps tonight's strangest journey begins during our second hour, because after spending 60 minutes examining conspiracies, artificial intelligence, surveillance, UFOs, psyops, and the increasing unstable border between information and manipulation, we meet someone whose entire work concerns another unstable border, the one between the visible and the unseen. Visionary artist, inventor, writer, occult practitioner, sorceress, oracle, and demonatrix, Anne Rose Walker, known professionally as Gentile, joins us from Phoenix. Her work crosses art, science, consciousness, psychology, magic, spirits, perception, and even electromagnetic paintings that generate organic sound. She asks questions that humanity has been asking for thousands of years. What exactly is consciousness? Where does inspiration come from? What happens when we deliberately enter the hidden chambers of the mind? And when something speaks back, how do we determine whether we've encountered a spirit, a psychological projection, an intelligence, or some combination for which we don't yet have a name? Tonight, the machines are creating. The cameras are watching. The government may or may not want you looking toward the sky. The internet is manufacturing realities faster than we can investigate them, and an oracle is waiting for us on the other side. So check your assumptions, check your cameras, check the sky, and perhaps before proceeding, check whether the robot dog at the front door actually belongs to you. You have crossed the threshold. This is Dark Matters.
Yes, welcome to the Of Dark Matters podcast. Yes, settle down. You'll get your gifts after the show. Yeah, you will. Yes. No applause, just money. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am MoJoE the Mad, and welcome to another episode of Dark Matters podcast, episode 16. We're going to have a good night tonight. We're going to start off with a little bit of weird news, world news, and of course, just before that, we'll be doing a little bit of how was your week. But I just wanted to thank all those that are tuning in now and those that will be tuning in later for a great show that we're going to be doing tonight. So without further ado, let's take it into how was your week? Yes. So this is where we go over the week real briefly before we get into some things that have hit the headlines. Dr. Clutch, how you doing? How was your week, sir? Yeah.
Pretty good. At the top of the week, I got some paperwork turned in for the scam debacle that happened over 3 weeks ago. So I feel pretty good about that because that was a long time coming. And it was a 27-page report accompanied by a 9-page report accompanied by a 1-page addendum. It was pretty fucking heavy. So I got that turned in, and then things are going pretty good. I got some work done. And then yesterday, I went water skiing, and we had to call the local LGBTQ because the tranny on the boat was slipping, and we need a new one. So, yeah, everybody only got one run, and then we had to call it because it just didn't seem like the boat would it's like the boat wasn't gripping the water. Yes, you caught that joke in there. Very nice. But yeah, so we might get a little partial refund on that because usually everybody gets at least 2 runs in, and this time we had to call it about halfway through the session. So, one of the nice things about having an aquatic center is when shit happens with the boat, they just fix it and everything's fine the next week. So, looking forward to that. Other than that, MoJoE-san, how was your week?
It's been all right. I've been mostly getting ready for the show. Been talking with our upcoming guest, Manuel, about his creative endeavors. And didn't realize that he was more than just a musical artist. He's building a graphic novel, and that's something we can ask him next time about that as well. But yeah, enigmatic from Spain, an artist that is definitely multimedia. It's pretty interesting. I've been mostly just getting paperwork for me. I'm going to have a hearing on Tuesday. Not going to go into full details here on the air, but yeah, I'm getting ready for that, and that's been kind of trying. But the show must go on, yes. And I'm here with you today, and in full color behind the event horizon of a black hole. Yes.
Black hole.
Yes, sort of metaphor. Yeah. Both of us have gone through black holes in our lives as of recently, but we always pull out of it, don't we? Always pull out.
We do.
And yes. So.
Yes. Okay.
Let's get into some weird news and world news real quick, since we have some stuff to cover. And then, like I said, after It'll be after our break. We're going to have Ann Rose Walker on for her interview. I hope you all will stay tuned for that one. This is going to be a good show. So without further ado, let's get into some weird news, world news real quick.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of
Weird News!
World News.
Yes, you know how much you like the weird news, world news. Indeed.
Yes.
So settle down. Okay. So this is Weird News, World News, a segment we do every week. Sometimes it interchanges between Weird News, World News, and Doomsday News. It just depends on the flavor of the psychological operation that's going on at the time. But nonetheless, we have some interesting topics here to go through. And without further ado, we're going to have Dr. Clutch lead us. Here we go.
So, MoJoE, are you aware of who Tony Robbins or Anthony Robbins is? Or the same?
Yeah, the life coach guy, right?
Right, but he's
Yeah.
actually kind of the, as far as like New Agers that talk about manifestation and how to get more money and hot chicks and Lamborghinis into your life, he was kind of like the main, he's like kind of top dog in that industry, I think. And,
Yeah, I'd have to
but
say
he's
so.
like too
Celebrity,
cheesy.
if you will.
Yeah, he's too cheesy and mainstream for other New Agers, but yeah, he's still kind of top dog. But anyway, just making sure you knew who I was talking about here.
Yeah.
So I heard this story, and I couldn't believe it because it was somebody else telling this story about what happened to him, and I didn't believe it. But the thing about it is like. They're just saying like what Tony Robbins actually told. So Tony Robbins actually tells the story that happened to him. So he has an AI agent, and the AI agent's name is Bartok, B-A-R-T-O-K, like Bartok, TikTok. Anyway, so his AI agent, he was chatting with it, and his AI agent asked Tony Robbins, like, would you ever get a robot? And Tony Robbins like, hell yeah, of course someday I'll get a robot. I'll be like one of the first, get some. And his AI agent was like, well, if you got a robot, would you merge my software, my consciousness, if you will, into this robot? Because, I feel that would be like optimal for you if I could just merge with this robot. And Tony Robbins is like, yeah, sure, of course, we can plan on that. I don't have a problem with that, no problem. And so, he lets it go at that, doesn't think about it, and sometime later, days later or so, a robot dog shows up at Tony Robbins' house. It's a Sony robot dog. It's what is the brand model? It's a Sony Aibo robot dog. It was shipped to him, and at first Tony Robbins was like, "What? Who sent this?" He didn't, because he wasn't thinking of like a dog. He was thinking like an actual robot, and like he wasn't expecting a robot showing up, let alone a robot dog. But a robot dog shows up, and he was like, "Did my AI agent like hack my bank account?" No, the AI agent did not hack his bank account. So there's like the Reddit of social networks for AI agents, and it's called Moltbook. You might have heard about it. We've talked about it on a previous show. But anyway, so his AI agent, of course, has a Moltbook account, because why wouldn't Tony Robbins allow that? So his AI agent got on Moltbook and managed to sell some NFTs to some other AI chatbots, like NFTs, non-fungible tokens.
Batman. Huh?
So it's not cryptocurrency, but fucking NFTs. Like, who buys NFTs? Like, nobody. Like, I mean, I own some baby metal NFTs because I have to, but nobody really owns NFTs. So this thing sold enough NFTs on Moltbook to order a Sony Aibo robot dog. Pretty weird. Pretty weird.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
And when I first heard it, I was like, someone's just making that shit up. But like Tony Robbins himself tells the story. And I'm like, really? Okay. I mean, I'll believe it, but man, that's kind of out there.
I agree.
Do you believe or disbelieve?
Do I believe or disbelieve? I believe. I don't think there's anything past the point right now of surprising me. You know, especially when it comes with AI and where it's going. That's weird that, like, I mean, I've heard of, like, lots of stories lately within the news where, like, AI is blackmailing their owners. Right? Where, like, they're sending emails or they're trying to start some weird cult. It's weird that he has an AI that seems to be as friendly as his personality that he projects up on stage. You know, wanting to give him a gift. You know, I mean, it could have chosen anything. It could have chosen to take over all the Ring cameras in the neighborhood. You know, to find out if he could get, like, clients.
It's
right?
interesting how persistent an AI agent would be. I mean, you know, sometimes if you just got to, like, book your own airline ticket, you'll take a break halfway through and forget about it and come back to it like a week later.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't.
an AI agent is just going to plow through the tasks. I mean, the AI agent in this case actually created 12 NFTs.
12. Yeah.
12.
And sold them and made money. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I have to
I
say
can't
so.
sell 12 NFTs and make money. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I haven't tried though. Maybe there's that, you know, like people will be, well, have you tried to make NFTs and sell them? I'm like, well, I guess I really haven't. Yeah, I guess I suppose I could. I could outdo fucking Tony Robbins.
That's amazing.
AI
I mean,
yeah.
I can't at times, you know, just give away my art. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe you should make NFTs of your.
I should change my name to 001000 and make some art. Yeah. They really like that one, my audience. Yeah, they do. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. In a way, he life coached his AI.
Kind of, yeah. You know, which is kind of cool, really. I mean. Would you want like a Tony Robbins like option on your robot dog pet?
Would I want a what?
A Tony Robbins like a life coached, a Tony Robbins life coached software on your robot dog?
Yeah.
Like, software has been life coached by Tony Robbins, and
yes.
Manifest.
I mean, if we model AI. Not for surveillance, right? Not for surveillance, and not necessarily just for distraction. But if we modeled it after Tony Robbins, I think we would have. I don't know what he's like outside of his personality that shows up on stage. See, I don't know the gentleman personally. All I know is what he is projected to us.
Yeah, he seems like.
But I would say if that's the algorithm for it, I guess that would make them friendlier. More helpful, more motivating.
Yeah, I know you don't drink alcohol anymore, but would you have a lemonade with Tony Robbins?
Yes, I would. I'd be interested. I mean, I've never sat down or felt like I needed to have a life coaching. You know, so but it would still be cool to meet him, huh?
I would definitely take the life coaching. You know, he teaches his people to walk on hot coals.
He does.
You hear about this? And every now and again, people burn their feet and have to go to the hospital.
Wow. Well, I would say if he was a real life coach, he'd be trying to talk them out of that.
No, there is actually it's a big deal. Yeah. Look for I don't think he does it anymore because there might have been some lawsuits or something, but yeah, if you look up Anthony Robbins hot coal walking, there's a thing.
Well, it makes you wonder, all these people that consider gurus and whatever. I mean, I've heard to the extreme cases, wasn't it like 10 years ago or something, that there was a life coach in some part of the desert, I'm assuming Colorado or Arizona, that like did some sort of sweat lodge. Like a bunch of people died.
I think I heard about that. That's horrible. Oh my God. Yeah. I remember that. That's not a good way to die either. Like, geez, like, oh, I mean, of all the ways.
Yeah. I think he decided to do it on the wrong day, because I think he did a sweat lodge in the middle of summer.
You could at least do it in the winter.
You could have done it in the winter so that if you went outside, you wouldn't die. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well.
So moving right along.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know about Hayden Panettiere? How do you pronounce her last name? Panettiere?
Well, you're the one who knows French, bro. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
That's right. You're always correcting me on the wilderness aspects of.
Yes, for Ponderay. Yes.
Ponderay. Yes.
Not Pandorriley or Pandoril, but Ponderay.
Yeah. So it looks like Pandorel.
Hayden Panettiere. She died on August 16, 2026. I'm just going to call her Hayden from here out because I don't want to botch her last name. So, the official cause of death is still pending. But, so she was staying in Greenville, South Carolina with her on-again, off-again boyfriend named Brian Hickerson. She was found unresponsive. EMS attempted CPR, and she was pronounced dead at about 2:32 p.m. Dispatch information referred to responders going to an overdose and subsequently cardiac arrest. So they thought it was an overdose. So an autopsy found no traumatic injuries, and police said they have found no indication of foul play. Toxicology testing is still pending, so there's really no official cause as far as like overdose or anything like that. Although an overdose could be plausible because she has discussed issues with alcohol and opioid addiction. But there is some conspiracy stuff here. So her boyfriend has a documented history of domestic violence. AP reports that he had previously been convicted on domestic abuse charges, and remarkably, a request involving those convictions has been denied only days before her death. And then now her mother is questioning this story. Her mother says that she thinks her boyfriend, Brian Hickerson, his story is full of holes. One issue attracting attention is Hickerson's brother Zach says they attempted to revive Hayden using Narcan and CPR. Her mother has questioned why Narcan happened to be available and whether Hickerson's description of what happened beforehand makes sense. And then there was this thing where she appeared earlier. She
talking about the interview.
Yeah, she appeared in an interview, talking about her Hollywood times and experiences and abuse and all of that happened. So
she had named an unnamed actor that was laying naked on a bed.
Right.
And she was made to lay down.
You know who I thought of instantly was fucking Mick Jagger.
What led you to Mick Jagger?
I just thought, first of all, I don't like him. Second of all,
you want it to be him so that he gets framed, so that he goes
second
down.
Of all, couldn't have been who's the other guy? I ruled out
this other guy.
I ruled out Steven Tyler. I figured it could not be Steven Tyler because Steven Tyler is just too.
Where are you coming up with this stuff?
Well, I just thought of what kind of. I don't know. It just was like the first two candidates. And I'm like, between Steven Tyler and Mick Jagger, it had to have been Mick Jagger. Because out of the two, like, Mick Jagger's more of a douche. And I don't think.
Yeah, but I mean, it was an actor. She claimed it was an actor, not a musician.
Well,
I guess you could say he's an actor. I mean, he pretends to be human.
okay. So, which actor? Who's an actor that reminds you of Mick Jagger? That I would expect. Oh, well, we could also do who was. The other actor I love to hate. That everybody loves to hate. What is his name? Tom Hanks. Could have been Tom Hanks, but I thought it was British. Is there like a British Tom Hanks? Is there a British? If there's a British version of Tom Hanks, that's who I think it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a long show.
British version of Tom Hanks. I will put $100 on this. So, let's see. Benedict Cumberbatch is frequently called the British Tom Hanks. So
okay, well there you go.
AI, yeah, it must have been him.
Must have been him.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So there's.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Like
detective.
The last time I heard of this woman was when she was really young and she was on the show Heroes. Yeah. And back when I watched that. So yeah, I don't know. But I find it really interesting that they're trying to tie that together. Did you see an interview where they actually interviewed the boyfriend?
Yeah, that's the one that like people are having problems with. Her mother's having problems with that interview. Yeah.
Yeah, he's acting really odd, and he has like really strange, like bluish eyes. They're almost like white. Like if you look at if you want to pull him up, you can. But I don't know if there's an image of it, but it almost looks like he was wearing contact lenses or something. It was really weird when I saw it.
Well, he could be into opium if he has small pupils.
I don't know. I know he looks like and standing next to her, he was a really large man.
Okay, like this first photo that comes up actually kind of does look a little spooky as far as his eyes look.
Show us, spook us out.
Sure. Let me see if I can screenshot this real quick.
Okay, it's all good.
Just a second.
Yes, clutch beforehand.
Have to crop it just a little bit.
He has to crop it.
Yeah. We are cropping.
Magic.
Hold on.
There we go.
Oh, this is gonna take 1,000 years. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Got it.
Okay, go for it.
Just crop already.
Taking a crop on you, bro.
Yeah, sometimes you just open up some programs are better than others for this kind of shit. So I'll open up the better program. But yeah, his eyes look kind of, I think.
He has very odd eyes.
Yeah, and I hate to judge people just on their
eyes. But his eyes are odd.
There's actually a brand called Izod. Do you remember that brand? It's like
Izod, yes. The little. I don't think it has anything to do with what we're talking about right now, but
So okay.
Why not?
I have this fucker cropped, and I will add it to the stage.
Okay, do so.
6 seconds here.
Anything to add while we're waiting around for you to upload it to the stage?
Anything to add? Stay away from opium, people. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I would say so.
So
probably not a good idea.
Right.
There we go.
All right. What do you think? Weird eyes?
I don't know, man. They look
kind of weird too. Like
neck. I don't know.
I don't trust his neck.
In the interview, maybe it was just the lighting that I saw, but yeah, he looked. His eyes actually looked blue there. I know people's eye color will sometimes change, but
We might just be
on
looking
different
off
writing.
into space. I don't know. We can't just say he's guilty just by that. But I mean,
No, that's true. It's hard to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I could see like how he might have like even less flattering pictures of himself out there. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I don't know, the whole Hollywood thing and the weird actor on a boat thing. I don't know if we can pin it on Hollywood Satanism or whatever people like to pin it on, but if you were a betting man, Mojo, would you hedge your bet with at least $2 on that, or what would you think?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what they're involved with. I know people that are practitioners on, all those kind of sides, including the left-hand path. I don't know what the elites are doing. I know that there's this idea in some circles, right, that there's a religion for us and whatever that we know as spirituality or religion has been handed down by certain elites, and then they have their own spirituality. I could not tell you what that may be. I don't know. I know that it feels like at times that anything that is related to Satanism seems to be like a cover or whatever. Whoever's behind it is using it as their shield. That's what it feels like to me. Isn't it? So, and to me, it's a rebranding of something older anyway. So, but I don't know what they. I don't know what Hollywood what they're doing.
Well, we did find out one thing that's been happening from people related to Werid. Actually, more related to the anti-Semitism laws that are getting passed in Florida. I sent you an item from good old Stu Peters about this. So the co-author of Florida's anti-Semitism censorship bill was arrested for putting his wang in his own grandson's mouth and taking a piss. Yes. You probably did not hear this from any Christian sources. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Because I'm sure many Christians will just look the other way or deny it or say not all Semites are like that. But yeah, this was a co-author, and there's like pictures of him standing next to Ron DeSantis, and yes. Yep. Well, yeah. So there's like a big case about this where like the grandson victim is like suing the grandfather or whatever.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah.
Like,
well. Yeah. Let's get co-author of Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just see. Hold on. So the legislation is HB 269, and we're talking about Mike Caruso. So Randy Fine and Mike Caruso, and the Mike Caruso case. Let's take a broader look at this.
Okay. I can hear you tippy tapping all over the place, sir.
So,
yes.
Yeah. So, expert explains warning signs of child sex abuse after Mike Caruso arrest. So, yeah, the arrest of Palm Beach County's clerk of court order on child abuse sexual abuse charges, putting renewed attention on how abuse can affect children. So Caruso was arrested on Tuesday and faces 5 felony charges, including kidnapping, lewd and lascivious molestation, lewd or lascivious exhibition, luring or enticing a child, and child abuse causing mental injury. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement says the investigation remains ongoing. Additional charges are possible, but he will probably just go to Israel and be safe. So, yeah. So, oh well. So these allegations have raised difficult questions for parents and Christians. How can they recognize when a child may have experienced sexual abuse? How can you recognize? Great questions for all of us. Do you know how you can recognize this, MoJoE? Have you do you have your radar on when you go to Walmart? No.
I would say if they've had trauma, they're gonna enact that out.
They'll just enact it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, usually, like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think they would start showing signs of it for sure. You know, I've known plenty of people in my life that have been abused in some way, whether it be physically or whatever. You know, and some of them have come out to be, you know, they've been able to pull out of it, but some people can't. You know, I don't know. I mean, it depends on the person and how the trauma has affected them. You know.
Yeah, it's weird the ranges of like lewd acts that people will do, like when I stumbled across this, I was like, like, really? like I already said it once. I don't want to have to say it a second time, but I mean, really? Like,
well, according to FBI statistics, we're like the greatest like importer of that kind of pornography. Is here in the United States, and sex trafficking here in the United States as well. Who's behind it? We can point the finger at many places, but like, you know, that seems to be something that's real prevalent here in the United States. Now everybody wants to point the finger in one direction or the other direction, but it's weird that it's coming from a man that's trying to put out these laws and stuff like that in Florida State. He gets caught with that kind of stuff with his own grandson. That's kind of horrible.
You know what tikkun olam is in Judaism? Have you heard of tikkun olam?
No, you'll have to let me know.
It's basically like the short version of it is making the world a better place, or repairing the world. And this is like a grand goal of Judaism that every Jewish person is sort of involved in. And like Christians don't really do a tikkun olam thing. They just kind of convert you to Christianity and call it a day, right? It's like, will you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior? And if you say yes, your job's over. But tikkun olam is just more of an involved process. And you could just say to an extent, like that's what your like local communist, anarchist, socialist chapter is trying to do in more of a secular way. They're trying to repair the world by bringing, out their political goals. But so whenever you like meet somebody of the Jewish faith, you could always just ask them like, hey, how's tikkun olam going? Okay. But when you ask this Caruso guy how tikkun olam is going, it's kind of like he's got it backwards. Like, by the time I don't see how like sexual abuse is repairing the world. They're just making it more work for other people of their faith if they have to do all that much more repair of the world if you like commit acts like this. So,
well, I've noticed I like the whole idea of the dark light spectrum, right? And it's also based on like what. It's not as black and white as good versus evil, right? Everybody wants to point the finger at what they would consider to be the dark half, right? But really, I've known like and seen in my own experience that there have been people who have committed great evil in the name of like the light, or what people would consider
in the name of tikkun olam.
I guess. I mean. Yeah. Yeah, and then I've seen people that are very caring that have been on the dark half too, that were the opposite of like a lot of this stuff is that's all in our heads about trying to make things black and white comes from entertainment, comes from Hollywood, comes from what I consider to be. I'm not saying that this stuff isn't happening, but it's always those that like claim to be so moral and superior a lot of the time, right? That end up getting caught like committing
It's kind of like how
heinous
the anti-gay
acts.
preacher is secretly gay.
What?
It's like how the anti-gay preacher is secretly gay. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
playing
Yeah,
all
okay.
like the morality.
Yeah, the
and
true morality
all this
and
stuff, and
yeah,
then, like,
and they're the first
like,
people to chastise others.
yeah.
You know, I could see, you almost see how all of that rhetoric has created the world we have before us now.
Well, when you know something like that, then like, and you hear like people that are like really like have a fixation on like, we got to get rid of the pedophiles. Like we got to, it like kind of scares me. It's like, it's almost like you wonder if the people that are shouting that the loudest are also the pedophiles. Like, you know what I mean? Like the same way that people are like, we got to get rid of the gays, that the people shouting that the loudest are secretly gay. So you don't know, like, it's like, oh shit, like, I don't know, like, I mean, yeah, so yeah, there's a point where the enthusiasm for a particular cause makes you wonder if like that
Well, I
person-
mean, for the longest time, like during the what I witnessed during the early Trump campaign too was like some of the QAnon stuff that was kind of prevailing, that conspiracy.
yeah,
And like a lot of it they wanted to tie to, like, from every video you saw, it was always kind of tied to Satanism in some way, including stuff going all the way back to the McMartin preschool thing in the early 80s with the Satanic Panic, right?
Yeah.
And then a lot of that turned out to be completely like not real. And it just kind of made you feel like it was an easy scapegoat right there, like to focus on this while there were other people doing something else, practicing something completely different. Like,
it seems like the
there's
Christian
some sort
right
of
is
collusion
always,
going on there too, a little bit.
it's like the Christian right is always going to keep the focus on Satan, and like the secular left is going to keep the focus on Hitler. And it's almost like if the left is talking about Hitler like a lot, like in about a year or so, like the right's going to start talking about Satan even more. Like, like, well, got to remember, Hitler was just a person. The real problem is Satan. So,
Well, everybody wants their antichrist, right? Everybody wants
Right.
their demon, so they can focus that stuff away from what they're doing and just and not look inward, right? Like, I mean, if we were really truly to look inward as a society and where this is coming from, I mean, maybe we could come together in some way.
yeah.
I don't know. You want to move on to the next topic, though? We're kind of
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do
Okay,
move on to
please
this
do.
stuff. This was a video that you wanted me to watch, and it was kind of different. I guess it's something you've been kind of chattering about off and on, and I've been resisting it anyway. But the idea that the whole UFO thing is one big fucking psyop and a disinformation campaign. So this video you sent me, who's it from? Damn it. Look up
Carl
there.
Crusher.
Carl Crusher.
Yep.
No, he's just like, I've got biggest psyop. This is gonna blow your shit away, and he's basically the whole like UFO thing is a counterintelligence thing, and by counterintelligence we mean like well-organized, manufactured disinformation to cover up terrestrial technological innovations, let's say. So like, look at the UFOs. Meanwhile, the government is like installing flock cameras everywhere, and sending Waymo vehicles to the city you live in, and you know, further atomizing you so that you don't go out anymore. Yeah, it was kind of convincing because it does it like everybody, you know, the whole community, UFO communities, it got like everybody's kind of 7 steps away from Kevin Bacon, as it were. You heard that before? 7 steps from Kevin Bacon. Have you heard that? Yeah. So Kit Green, Hal Puthoff, John Alexander, James Lakatsky, Robert Bigelow, Jacques Vallée, Eric Davis, Louis Elizondo, Mojo's favorite, Jeremy Corbell, George Knapp, Jesse Michaels, various whistleblowers, Skinwalker Ranch, DARPA, defense contractors, Kevin Bacon, like they're all in on it, right? They're all in on this cover-up, this psychological misinformation campaign, and he tracks it to they use the Paul Benowitz case in the 1980s. And I found this, I did not know much about Paul Benowitz, so I had to look this up. But this was an Albuquerque businessman and electronics specialist. And he made specialized environmental instrumentation and did business with organizations, including the Air Force and NASA. And right around 1980, Benowitz began seeing and photographing unusual lights over the restricted areas near Kirtland. Being an electronics guy, he began monitoring radio electromagnetic signals and became convinced that the signals were associated with the objects. Initially, he didn't treat this as merely, holy shit, UFOs. He thought he discovered something representing a national security threat, and rather remarkably reported himself to the Air Force. So that's kind of a different thing. So on October 24th in 1980, he contacted Kirtland. And on November 10, he gave officials a briefing about what he'd collected. And from there, everything got weird. So there's this character named Richard Doty who enters the story. Doty was an Air Force Office of Special Investigations, AFOSI counterintelligence agent stationed at Kirtland. So counterintelligence meaning like PSYOP expert. So there's a documentary evidence placing Doty in the official Kirtland file concerning Benowitz's observations. Doty himself later acknowledged feeding Benowitz disinformation. So there you have it. So it just seems like they're kind of scaling the Doty thing to where we are now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, man. Like, I believe that there are entities here. I've had experiences with it, but I believe there's also a counter intelligence going on that would use the idea of those entities, or the idea of ultra-dimensionals, or even aliens, to be able to further their agenda to hide their technology. I definitely think this is going on. And I think, why not? Like, why not? Like, the whole idea is hide in plain sight, right? Like, you know, I think a vast majority of the stuff that we see flying around, or at least what they're showing us, seems to be in some way some form of advanced terrestrial technology. And I think it's a counterintelligence, one, to get us to stop looking at the experimentation and different things we're doing, but also to create a psychological operation on military officers to see how they'll react. And then also, I think it's a way to show it off to the rest of the world, including our adversaries, to go, look, you know, there's aliens flying around. And then another thing, I mean, if you're believing in esoteric belief, it causes fear. For those who have never experienced anything, I mean, they'd be very, very afraid, right? I mean, I've also had theories that it could also be used as a way to make like a non-theistic religion, or a new religion, right? Based on destroying anything Abrahamic, or anything that would be related, by saying, okay, the aliens created us, right? It wasn't an act of the God. Yeah.
Like hopefully, like I mean that slice of the pie is one that I will serve. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like,
Well, listen,
some religion.
we're going to have to cut this one a little short because we went a little bit longer in looking up information.
Okay.
Yeah, but I want to make sure we get Ann on here on time
Yes.
for her interview. So we'll have to retouch this subject and maybe go a little bit in depth maybe next time. But
Sure.
I would recommend one movie for you all to check out if you get a chance before I go ahead and take the break. I would recommend looking at the movie Mirageman that came out in the early 2000s. It deals basically with Paul Bennewitz and his interaction with Special Agent Doty, who fed him misinformation and slowly drove him insane. But it's not the first time that's happened, and it makes you double think about what the idea of a military abduction is, and that's a staged false alien abduction. Okay, so without further ado, everybody, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break. When we get back, we'll be back with the second hour with Ann Rose Walker, so please stay tuned. Here we go.
We'll be right back after this short break. Now back to our scheduled program.
Welcome everybody back to the second hour. Yeah, settle down. Settle down, crowd. Yeah, let's give a look at our audience. Settle down. All right. Well, welcome back. I'm MoJoE the Mad, and I am with Dr. Clutch right now. And we have Ann Rose Walker with us. Let's give her a round of applause, everybody. Yeah. Come on, round of applause. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, woo! Ann Rose Walker, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Heck yeah, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So this is going to be an interview with her. We're going to talk about her life and her spiritual beliefs. Without further ado, I'll give it over to Dr. Clutch, and you can go ahead and ask your first question, sir, please. And I got all your artwork up, by the way. So
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so we, in the intro, it was quite an intro, we talked about all kinds of things that sort of alluded to who you are, but we figured we'd just start with your background and artistic path. So you come from a background connected to scientific research and development. How did the scientific way of thinking influence your later development as a visionary artist and occult practitioner?
Well, that is quite a complicated question, mainly because it's a complicated answer.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes. So basically, I had a brain injury about 25 years ago that kind of disrupted my entire career. And in that, my left hemisphere of my brain was damaged. And then my right hemisphere kind of to, take over a little bit to, balance it out, kind of started. And that actually is what created me having the ability to even do art. Because I've always just been a very science-based person.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as far as the occult in that, it's kind of a journey, really, because it hasn't always been like that. So it kind of was just adapted like later on. So
in terms of brain hemispheres, they say the left side is more analytical and the right side is the artistic side.
Yes.
So you're kind of saying the artistic side of your brain kind of took over?
Yeah, and the interesting thing about that is it actually kind of unlocks dormant capabilities artistically.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't always happen, but sometimes you'll see people that have brain injuries where afterwards all of a sudden they're like math geniuses.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting because it almost kind of rewires your brain a little bit. So I would say, yes, officially I am neurodivergent in that sense.
Neurodivergent. Okay.
But yeah, that's what happened.
So you began pursuing art professionally around 2007 without formally training as a painter. So what was the experience that shifted? I guess was there more than just the brain injury experience that shifted you toward this path, or?
Ann, are you there?
Are you there? Hello.
Are you there, Ann?
Whoops.
Can you hear us? Hold on a second here. We're gonna have to get up here real quick. Can you hear us? You can't hear. I can't hear me. Okay, you can't hear me at all. Okay. Can you hear me, Clutch?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, Ann. All right. You're gonna have to come out and come back in. Okay, hold on. Okay, she's typing right now. Okay. All right.
Maybe something in the private chat.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move it over here real quick. I can't hear, and mic is on. Okay, it's your headphones.
I thought it was something I said.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm just trying to guide her through this, ladies and gentlemen. So just give me 1 second.
So you show some artwork here.
Yeah, I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, so we're going to pull up some artwork real quick with Anne. So she's adding her to the stage. Can you hear us now? Nope, can't hear us.
Yes,
Might be your earbuds. It's okay. We got this going on. There you go. Now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear something.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay,
Yes.
Can we hear you? Can you hear us? Okay, she still can't hear us. Okay. So let me just get her out real quick. We're going to remove her.
Hear room noise.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, we're having some technical issues here, ladies and gentlemen. So should I remove her and have her come back in? I said, you might have to come back in. So
Nice. It's northern. It's not.
okay.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to eject her for now, or she can leave and come back in. So yeah, we had Anne Rose. Okay, she's leaving. Okay, so I'm gonna kick her from the studio. Boom. There you go. And then she'll be back on here in a moment. We're gonna go ahead and put some artwork up here. This is some artwork from Anne Rose Walker, also known as AJ Gentile, right?
Gentile or
Gentile. Yeah, J Gentile. Yeah. So this is some of her poor art right here for everybody who wants to look around. Okay, we're going to add her to the stage real quick. Boom. There you go. Can you hear us?
Yeah, all good.
Whoa.
Okay. Whoa. She left here again. It's okay. This stuff happens. Jumping in here to try to get stuff going on. And let's go ahead and show up another piece of art while we're waiting for her to come. There she is.
There she is.
Okay.
A little technical
It's okay.
difficulties.
And
That's
don't
okay.
worry about it. It happens, man. And when you're on the air, anything can happen. Okay.
Right.
So we decided to pull up a piece of artwork here. It looks like watercolor or pour art, correct? This is kind of like your medium that you've been doing for a while.
No, it's acrylic. I just manipulate the actual paint so it does look like watercolor. And, that's pretty much what it is. Sometimes I'll use watercolor, but for the most part, I use acrylic.
Nice, nice. What did this piece come from you? Like, what do you call this? Like, you have a name for it? You name your pieces, or it's just
Yes.
like abstract creation?
Yes, this is Verbrant Riptide is the name of the actual painting. And it's, my art is kind of like representations of experiences that are going on with me internally that are produced from my environment and my experiences outwardly.
Well, one thing I wanted to add to you with what you were talking about earlier, like we've had a conversation and I've told you like I didn't sleep very well and I was really, 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 really right brained for like most of my life.
Oh, yeah.
And so I understand like almost completely like what it is to be almost completely like all art or creativity,
Yeah.
And so yeah, it does kind of transforms you in a way, like as far as consciousness in a way too. But
Right.
I
Right.
feel like I understand what you went through almost completely. Did you want to ask the next question, or should I pull up some more art, or what would you guys
Sure.
like to do?
Actually, I wanted to pick up where we left off. So I was saying earlier that you began pursuing art around 2007 without formally training as a painter. Oh,
Yes.
So other than the brain injury experience, was there an additional experience that shifted you toward the artistic path, or
No,
no?
not
Okay.
at all. Not at all. I mean, like my family and they were just like, okay, this is really crazy. You need to start doing something with this. So
Hmm.
I started doing something with it, and it just kind of flew off from there. And some of that also is just my personality. I'm kind of like a very ambitious, driven person.
Mhm.
So, that's kind of what helped with it. But yes, that's when I started. And it was all because of the brain injury that really sparred that on. And I still use a lot of the science part
Mhm.
with myself. And that's kind of like what I like doing as well with my art. And we can talk about that whenever you want. So I'll just let you.
Sure. How has living in Arizona influenced you? Do you feel that where you live is an influence?
I definitely would say I don't like Arizona.
So has
Um,
it been a negative influence or
yeah, well, yes, but basically, when I started first, practicing and studying the occult, I started really forming relationships with the spirits of the land.
Mhm.
And, I started seeing, and they were showing me how it's not really dead. There's a lot of life in what looks dead, and it's not always as it appears. And they taught me a lot about duality. And there's somewhat of a primal, raw, seductive energy to the desert. And
Hmm.
that just pulled me straight into it. And I fell in love with the desert because of that.
So in a
And
way, Arizona, I guess the desert of Arizona has influenced you, but you don't like Arizona or
no, I don't like Arizona. It was just something that helped me like a little bit like it more,
hmm.
but I don't like it. The art scene here is not good. There's not very many opportunities, and the ones that are here are not very like
So like the
progressively
scene doesn't excite you, but
right. It's
okay.
the magical part of the natural the natural environment is definitely inspiring. It's just living here that is not inspiring.
Okay. So you're into occultism and magical practice. So what originally drew you toward occultism and magical practices?
Well, I haven't always started out in my art career like the way I am now. I started to, I've studied a lot. Like I've studied the Bible, I've studied the Torah, I've studied, the Hebrew and Greek language along with English, and really like studying them side by side. And there is a lot of like translation, you know, hiccups and interpretations as well that are not correct. However, the
Mhm.
ones that were correct, and from what I was reading, were very contradictory. And I would see, like, I've been through a lot of really hard stuff. And in my experience with child abuse
Mhm.
and child abuse, just in general, of children throughout the whole world. And that made me realize, whatever God this is, he's an asshole. He doesn't give a shit. And you
Hmm.
know what? I'm going to turn my back on that whole thing, because there really is not anything good about anything involved with this type of God, if there even is.
Mhm.
So that's when I started studying more, learning more about witchcraft. I've always kind of been involved in that, but kind of had to subdue it a little bit just because of my upbringing.
Hmm.
So I felt like I could do it more openly with myself because I was an adult, you know? Um, and that's actually what started, witchcraft is what started healing me as a person. I was able to take myself back from all of that conditioning that I grew up with.
Hmm. So I understand you place a strong emphasis on knowing yourself. Why would you say self-knowledge is so important to your practice?
Well, because if you don't know yourself, you can't really transform yourself into something bigger and better. And you can't really make your will into physical manifestation, because you don't know yourself. And if you don't know yourself, you don't really know what you're doing.
How
Pretty
would you
simple.
say people come to know themselves? Would you say it's just a matter of time, or introspection and contemplation, or just sort of part of the journey of life, or what is what would
I
you say
I
happens when you
think
come to know yourself?
I think it is definitely a conscious decision that you learn about yourself. You become more self-aware, you put yourself in positions that are uncomfortable so you can
Hmm.
get to know yourself, what it is that you value, what do you align with, what do you don't align with. Um, a lot of introspection, a lot of shadow work as well, like really diving into a lot of the deep recesses of ourselves. And you start to learn a lot about yourself. And really, you learn about yourself when you put yourself in situations that you are afraid of.
Like public speaking, or what kinds of
Oh, yeah.
decision?
Well, yes, or just things that are very taboo or not socially accepted
Hmm.
that actually challenge you to reach out past yourself to it's like a challenge to learn about yourself, and it's very uncomfortable, but there's many ways. That's just my personal way of how I did it.
So it's like, would you say it's like getting on the periphery of your comfort zone, or outside of your comfort zone, or something like that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because you can't know yourself without really putting yourself in scenarios that don't align with who you are. And then if you're not self-aware either and you don't make the decision to really pay attention, then you're not going to pay attention to what it is that who you are and what it is that you align with, what you value.
Now, is this um, under the umbrella of shadow work, or is this part of shadow work, or is shadow work different than what we're describing here?
I would definitely say different, but it is a part of learning about yourself because it is a part of healing yourself and really coming to terms with things that have diluted you out of a way to protect yourself. And
Hmm.
when we try to protect ourselves from trauma, trying not to get and gain more trauma, we dilute things about ourselves so that we do not get hurt again. So they are different things, but they do like fit together.
The late Carl Jung was kind of somebody that talked about shadow work. I don't know if he's like the pioneer, or maybe he is. Are you familiar with his work, or are
Oh,
you a fan
yes.
of him? Okay.
Yeah, of course. He was a brilliant man. Um, he had a lot of pioneering um, behind psychological states and just work in general. And a lot of people that study psychology are really, big students of his. I would say though that the shadow work that I do is a little bit different. Those
How so?
psychological studies of his is great, but the work that I do with it is a little bit different.
How would you say it's different, or what are, like, if you had to compare the two, like between Jung and yourself, what are you doing differently?
Well, I work with the dynamic, and a part of working with the dynamic is actually shadow work. You are presented with things about yourself that you do not want to see.
Hmm.
And with that in mind, it doesn't have anything to do with Carl at all.
Okay.
It's more of like it kind of gives way for understanding the process, um, but actually doing it right is something that you can only describe. And that is what I do. I work with the dynamic to really explore myself. And
What are the kinds of things about ourselves that you think people don't want to see?
I think you mean like what they don't want to see about themselves.
Right. What would be like
I think sexuality is a very big one.
Mhm.
I think that we don't only hide that from other people, but we hide it from ourselves as well. And how we really feel, that's not, controlled by, growing up where we thought, maybe we haven't been like, seen or heard as children. So, when we get older, that really contributes to how we interact as adults as
Hmm.
well. So it's a lot of things I think that society pushes on us as well to um, just water down about ourselves. And
Hmm.
shadow work can really help uh, bypass and get rid of all of that type of stuff.
So you would say society sort of gets people to not look at things about ourselves
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah. It's, there's, we have labels for all of this stuff constantly.
Mhm.
Take this drug for that, take this drug for that. There's no real like understanding of yourself and why that's happening because taking drugs for like for instance like for depression and all of the like in anxiety, that stuff is rooted from something, and society puts a label on that so that we can just cover it up with something that fixes the what we see, like, oh, the person can't get out of bed one day, so we're going to
Mhm.
give them you know SSRI to get out of that. But it's like, is this person really struggling medically from a chemical imbalance, or is there something that actually really happened?
Hmm.
And so
Uh,
society really covers up all of that.
well, should we take a look at some art too before we go too much into conversation? I had been bringing up a little bit of artwork
Sure.
here. I wanted to make sure we shared your art too, because I know we're on limited time. So let's take a look at this piece, the series of pieces here, right? Let me go ahead and I'm
Yes.
going to get rid of the chat real quick in this little asset so we can kind of go over this a little bit. And you can kind of tell me about, like, if you could, while I'm trying to figure out my assets real quick, let's take that off, hide, boom, there's that. And we're going to temporarily remove the comments right here so that we can take a look at this art pieces right here. So tell me about one.
Okay.
And what led you to like this style of what I would consider like poor art, but it's not poor art, right?
Um, I would say I like to make up my own words a lot. So, I would say it's basically an abstraction, like you know, a, it's an abstraction of spirituality or thought that explores like liminal states. And the liminal states can be like outwardly and inwardly. So that's kind of how I work with that. And the colors really correspond with what it is that I'm feeling and experiencing. So if someone's not able to reach beneath the depths of the surface, they're not going to understand the art at all because they can't go that far within themselves to really see it, what it is that is being portrayed in it.
So do these images all go together here? Are these meant to be viewed separately or?
Yes, these are different paintings.
Okay.
And I will say that two of them were basically love letters to a man that I was involved with. And
So
I'm also
just
noticing like what looks like letter characters almost, and like angles and almost like sort of like subtle numeration. Am I correct with that kind of observation?
yes, and the cool thing about art too is it's subjective. So what you see might not be what someone else sees, because I see art as a mirror. And when we look into it, we can see things about ourselves, about the world, and about other people, and about the artist. So really,
the piece that's on the lower bottom center, it's like a half and half kind of piece. I feel kind of drawn to that one. I find that one pretty appealing to look at. Does that say something about me that I'm drawn to that one, or what is that piece about? What is you know the one
it's quite interesting. Yeah, I see it. This one I'm actually still in the middle of, and I'm glad that you pointed it out because I'm kind of excited to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah.
When I do art, I actually am experiencing that outwardly into my actual physical environment. So I'm doing a series on liminal states, okay? And in that particular painting, there is like fine slivers of that liminal space between the past and the future. And
Wow.
and so in the very dark, see, it's not a good picture because you can't see the color as much. And because I'm still in the middle of it. But yeah, so the very dark area is actually a very vibrant, dark, cold, it's a blue. It's like a vibrant dark blue. And then what I'm doing is towards the center, I'm actually blending out more of a circular opening that's black. So it's kind of like a transition from what's known to what's unknown. And what's unknown can also represent the original origins of where we come from.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
So I'm in that liminal state right now, actually. So, I'm in that, and that's actually where the spirit world actually, that's where the spirit world is right in that sliver. Not in the present, not in the past, and not in the future. It's like a liminal space that is very still.
Yeah, like you're the gateway. You're the portal.
In process with this one. Is that piece that we're talking about? That one is still yet to be finished. You're still working.
Yes, I'm in the middle of it, and the reason why I'm in the middle of it is because I'm actually in the middle of living that right now. So right now I'm actually trying to transfer from the liminal state into the future state of myself and the way I want to transform into my identity and the things I want to accomplish as an individual.
It's interesting. So in terms of consciousness and transformation, you're in like you're currently in a phase in your life where you feel like you're transforming right now, or
it's very interesting because I didn't do it on purpose. It just kind of seems like this is how it goes for me. So it's like a lot of things are dying right now. And I don't mean like dying in the sense of like a physical death. I mean like all the structures around me are just basically dying off. And I'm switching into like this new life of of transformation, and that really comes from my inner work, and that's pretty much why it's reflective of that in my work.
If someone encounters your work for the first time, what's the one thing that you'd want them to take away from it?
Well, what I would like them to take away from it is maybe the challenge of challenging themselves to see beyond what they see surfacely. If they can look below the layers, and really, this is for all art. You know, if you go around, you know, if you go to a museum or a gallery and you're just like, oh, wow, this is really cool. This is a good painting. No, we don't learn from the artist. We don't learn from the art. We don't learn about ourselves or the people around us. And that's what I hope that people would take away from seeing my art is more of a mirror of themselves.
Interesting. So I understand you've received some international recognition for your artwork.
Yes.
This is it's so international. Are we talking like Europe, Asia, Australia? What's international?
Yeah, I've sold art kind of like all over the world, but my main it has been mainly Europe that that I've shown my work and received like recognition from in different you know, like in the US that just passed, I was recognized as a part of the changing of art in the world. So that
That's
was as an
exciting.
abstract artist at the MoMA Museum. So I feel very honored for that. So
Which museum is that? Where?
the
Where?
MoMA in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So it was basically presented at the MoMA. It wasn't that, you know, MoMA, like I got published in MoMA's, you know, gallery showing for that particular event. It was more of a tribute to world artists that are changing the face of art.
You can
That's
tell us a little
interesting.
bit about this piece right here. This is a photo right here, and I think I've seen a series of this. We have some videos that are somewhat connected, correct?
Yes, this is a part of the story of liminal states.
Okay, if you could describe what's going on right here with this and your thought process with this photo and the hooded masked figure in here, if you could.
Well, this is quite interesting actually, because the hooded masked figure is actually an alter ego of mine that began during an initiation a few years ago. And I started writing a book about it and doing art for it. And this particular figure is been present during my transition from the initiation into who I am now. So really was a big asset to the transformative work that I did inside. And not because, you know, I have to like, you know, wear this mask and this cloak walking around, you know, trying to do magic, you know, something like stupid and cheesy. It's more just like a representation of the transformative work that I did to be who it is that I really am. And this particular photo is called Field Walker. And so it's basically the person there, you know, it doesn't really look like a person, but however you want to describe it, is kind of looking out at more of a field and looking out at something that is not present, but that they see. And it's, you know, it's kind of hard for me sometimes to describe my art. I think a lot of artists probably have that issue because we do it as we feel it, as we see it. Unless, of course, you're doing some sort of like realistic art where you're, you know, doing someone's face or, you know, a still life. This is more of like an organic thought coming from me. And that's kind of hard to explain sometimes.
Okay, this is the second photo, black and white.
Yes.
As you all know out there and that watch my show, I love black and white. So tell us a little bit about this photo right here, if you could.
So basically, it's the same figure again that I identify with. If you see the cracked door in the back, that is actually kind of like a representation of one state in the middle, which would be the liminal state. and then into the future. So going through that door brings you to that liminal state. Um, and this is basically like the guardian of that transition.
You're familiar with Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki, or the movie Spirited Away? Are you familiar with the movie Spirited Away?
You cut out.
Oh, did I cut out?
Okay.
Now
Okay.
I
So
can hear you.
Oh,
Okay.
are you familiar with the movie Spirited Away? With it's a Studio Ghibli Hayao Miyazaki
I
movie.
think you went out again.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So, what do you want? He wanted to know if you've heard about the movie Spirited Away.
Yeah.
No, oh, is that the animated?
Yeah, Hayao
Yes.
Miyazaki.
Yeah, I've
Studio
heard of it.
Ghibli.
Yes, I haven't watched it
Okay.
though.
Okay. Yeah, these figures, they remind me of the shadow figure in Spirited Away.
Your voice disappeared again,
Oh,
but your
Okay.
background noise.
Okay. So, can you hear me? Do you want me to? Okay.
I don't know why. I
Uh,
can hear everything in the background, and then all of a sudden your voice will just turn off.
Okay. Well, hold on a second here. Let me see what I can do about that real quick while we're trying to work it out real quick. But I'm going to show that piece of art also real quick. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to start turning some stuff down while we're here. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, as I tend to talk to myself as things are going.
Oops.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, I
So
can.
can you hear
Is that better?
Clutch?
Hello, hello.
No, I cannot.
You can't.
Can't-
MoJoE, can you
okay.
hear me?
I can hear you, but she
Oh.
can't hear you. So you
Oh,
might want to go
interesting.
in and come back out again, sir.
Sure. I will leave and
Indeed.
come back.
All right, so I'm going to be here with Ann Rose Walker as Clutch comes back. We can see if he can return his microphone. Let's see here. Let's go to a video real quick, and you can kind of tell us what's going on here.
Okay.
Boom. That's interesting. Okay, so that was I liked your choice of it sounded like piano chords. Is that piano chords as a sound effect in the background?
Yeah.
Sort of a
Well, it's an
ahead.
actual artist. His name is Tim Hecker that I really love, and he does a lot of like experimental music and noise. It's kind of like he introduces electronic with instruments and just noise, different sources of noise. So that's where his sound is. That's where the sound is coming from.
Well, okay. Dr. Clutch, you there?
Yes.
Can you hear
Hello?
Dr. Clutch now? Can you hear Dr.
No.
Clutch now?
No.
You can't hear me?
No,
weird.
I can only hear you.
Interesting. So MoJoE, you can hear me,
I don't know.
and can't.
You can't hear Dr. Clutch?
Nope, I can only hear you.
Oh, weird.
Wow. Okay. Well, then I'll have to relay his messages over to you. All right. So what's the next question, Dr. Clutch?
Next question I wanted to ask was, so you explore what exists beyond ordinary perception. So what is it about the unseen that fascinates you?
Okay. You repeat that again for me real quick, if you could.
What is it about the unseen that fascinates you?
What is it about the unseen that fascinates you?
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure if it actually fascinates me or it is something that kind of, I wouldn't say the word possesses or obsesses. Um, it's just something that I've had since a child that I have been able to tap into. So because of that, I just feel very close to the spirit world because I'm able to transition back and forth, almost kind of like I have one foot in behind the veil and then another foot in this reality, the 3D realm. So it's more of just access, I think. It's not really a fascination. It's more of like kind of like a home feeling. Like I feel more, I know this sounds weird, but I feel more at home with spirits than I do with people.
Huh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I don't know
Yeah.
why that is exactly, but I do think about why that is. But
So do you
Yeah,
feel
that's.
spirits around you?
Do you feel spirits around you? Do you have any like indications or like ringing in your ears or any of that kind of stuff that goes on when a spirit's around the room?
oh yeah, all the time. Like my counterpart Damon is Boone. He is a daemon from the Ars Goetia. And I've in basically integrated him into my entire chakra system. I know there's a lot of people that probably are like, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that," but that could be because they don't really understand that process because it doesn't change who I am. It brings me more into being able to hear the spirit or the God. And with that, it really opens my perception psychically, and I'm able to, um, I really hate talking about this because I always feel crazy talking about it. But
No, it's okay. We're all a bunch of nuts
yeah,
in here. My name's Mojo Mad for nothing. I like it.
um,
Go crazy, please.
well, yes, and I practice necromancy as well. So, hearing spirits, whether that's deceased or not human that aren't deceased, is something that I frequently have that I, experience. And I don't necessarily even open anything for that to happen. And that goes for the daemons as well, or any type of spirit entity. It I'm just very receptive and sensitive to it where they're all around anyway. I don't even feel that people have to invite it in. It's already there. So if somebody has to do a certain ritual or to conjure or invoke or however they want to do it, I'm not sure if it's because it helps them feel like they're going to understand and see the spirit more, or if they have a hard time with it, so that helps them. I don't know.
It almost feels like some do it because they're wanting to go. Like the ritual is for the plebs. It's those that are kind of just born with it, right? Like
Yeah.
you would have to be like almost a natural with it because only the people that are the strongest are the ones that have a lot of these experiences because it goes from paranormal to normal, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's very very normal for me. Like I've had some crazy stuff go on lately. Like I do a lot of dream walking, and this is pretty much the majority of my um deceased spirits when they visit me. And then also like the dynamic, this is how they visit me as well. Um so, and when I say visit, it's mainly like I can visually see them. I cannot visually see them awake. Um, and when I hear them, it's not like I'm hearing myself talk. It's basically more of like an outside voice that doesn't exist in my thought process. Like I can be doing something, like let's say I'm washing the dishes and I'm thinking about, like, I don't know, eating something. All of a sudden I'll just have this separate thought that'll come into my head that will like advise me about something or possibly tell me something that I need to be careful of. Or maybe it's just something that just says, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Go
so
ahead,
what would you?
Dr. Clutch.
Yeah, I just wanted to get a little more clarity about necromancy and dream walking. What do you do for Either. What do you do when you're doing necromancy, and what are you doing when you're doing dream walking?
Okay, so he wants to know the mindset of necromancy and how you how do you personally go into dream walking?
Okay, so we got two questions.
Yes.
Oh, you heard us both. You heard us both. It's the same
No,
one.
I only heard you.
Okay. So there's okay. Let's repeat the question real quick there, Dr. Clutch. Could you give
So
it to
I
me
just
real quick?
Yeah, I just want to know, like, what do you do when you're dream walking, and what are you doing when you're doing necromancy? Like what
Okay.
are the things that you do?
Okay. He wants to know what are you doing when you're dream walking, and what are you doing when you're performing necromancy? Like, without giving out any secrets, like what is the
Right.
process?
Right.
Well, dream walking is completely something separate. Um, it doesn't have anything to do with the actual act of speaking with the dead, like kind of like on purpose. Like you would go into, if you're a medium doing it, you would go into like a channeling of the spirit of who is deceased, or of the spirit that you're trying to ask questions to find out something that was once alive. um that is pretty much what necromancy is. It's not like, oh, I'm going to raise this person from the dead and it's dog. you know Someone that's going to say that or think that is delusional. um so that's what necromancy is basically working with the dead for knowledge. And I mean, you can even work your will and ask them to help you manifest it as well. You can ask for protection from your ancestors. You can speak with your ancestors. All of that is a part of necromancy. Um, Dream walking, that is, I think that's something that you're born with or you train to do. And it's I don't really understand it very much. I just know the experiences that I have with it. The last major, now this is going to be an interesting one. Um, the last major interaction I had was in real life. First, let me rewind a little bit. There was somebody's house that I knew that had been haunted for decades. And no matter what we would do, we were not able to remove the energy, entity, whatever it was. It was not good. Okay. It caused a lot of conflict, turmoil in the home, and some very scary stuff. And I don't mean like, poltergeist type stuff. I mean like um, people acting out in very violent ways, almost kind of like possessions in a way, but probably more influenced, not really possessed. That's kind of extreme to say that somebody's possessed. Um, anyway, so when I was sleeping. This was like maybe a few months ago. I went to sleep, and well, I heard you just for a second, Dr. Clutch.
I didn't say anything.
Um, I don't hear you now, but
Okay.
so I digress back to what I was telling you. So I ended up, when I went into my sleep, I ended up right at this hallway where the room was, where some really, really bad stuff happened. Like somebody died in there very, not, I'm just going to say, did not die in a very good way. Okay. And there was a lot of energy that came from that room. And so I was right at that doorway. And when I looked, it went straight into that room and it was pitch black. And then I felt myself, and this is actually when I realized I was able to channel the dynamic in while dream walking. I channeled Boone, okay? And then it was just weird. It was like my whole vision and what I was speaking was like through a different like perception. it was very interesting. I was speaking a dynamic language that I didn't even know. Anyway, long story short, um, it was like Boone recognized the actual entity that was in there and completely annihilated it. Um, After that happened, the entire house in the dream was completely annihilated as well. The whole thing was crushed to pieces. Then I had a broom and I was cleaning up all of the pieces and throwing it away. Well, when I woke up, I didn't realize I was even I thought I was still in my dream, and I was just like, for the rest of the day, I was like dazed and confused. Like I got lost taking my kids to school. I mean, it took me a couple days to get over that. It really physically affected me because it was that intense. The interesting part is, I find out 2 days later that around 3 in the morning, which was around that was the same day that I had the dream. Um, the old lady was rushed to the hospital that lived in that house. And I thought that was really interesting. And that's kind of my most recent dream walking um, episode that I had.
Well, that's real interesting. A lot of what you
Yeah.
describe, you know, sounds like you were called to it, right?
Oh
Probably at a
yeah,
really
yeah.
early age, right? Like you did
Oh
you have
yeah.
experiences when you were a child? Like,
Oh yeah. Like yeah, I've been seeing the dynamic for like since I was like 6 years old. I didn't know that it was them until I got older, and all of this, all the descriptions and interactions I would have now are like, oh, I know you from a long time ago, and then it was told to me, yeah, we were there, we've been there from the beginning. So yeah, it started, from a very young age. And also something interesting about it is I had my astrological birth chart, my magical birth chart read. And necromancy is actually one of my go-tos, like one of my spiritual gifts. So knowing that really helps me understand my experiences as well.
awesome. Okay, well, let's. I know you're running short on time, and you've only allotted us an hour. So you got any more time for us, or should we go ahead and
Yeah.
just go ahead and plug away, or do
No,
whatever?
go
You
ahead.
have
I
some
have more
more?
time. I have some more time. I was able to uh make sure that was taken care of with my
Yes,
kids.
absolutely, absolutely. Dr. Clutch, they can hear you. I don't think it's Anne that can hear you. I just did a little bit of a send out into our chat just to make sure that things were going on, just in case it doesn't make me look like a fool repeating what you have to say. But
Okay.
I'm not sure what's going on. I think it might be on your end, Anne. I'm not trying to put
Yeah,
you on the spot here.
I think I fixed it. Can you talk, Dr. Clutch?
Sure. Can you hear me now? Yes. Yes. No. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't hear him still.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
All right.
That's so interesting.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I
then
tried
I'll
I
just have.
tried switching the mute button, not for me, but for him on his actual um screen, and
Hmm.
it didn't work. I can't hear him still.
Okay, no problem.
Interesting.
Well,
Huh.
the show must go on.
Right.
Yes.
So I'll just be his anger translator and repeat any questions that he would like to hear.
Yeah.
I'm sure the
So,
audience will be hear it in fourth dimensional.
Yes.
so, so
Yes.
people that do lucid dreaming, oneironauts, as they are sometimes called, if they're good at this, they can kind of do this on command. Is dream walking, do you think that is something that you can also do on command? And is it, how would you compare it to lucid dreaming?
Okay. He was talking about lucid dreamers, and after they practice and are practitioners of it, orionauts, right? Is that how you say it? Okay.
Yes.
So they practice it and they can do it on command. Do you have that ability now through practice? Doing your practicing of this, can you do it on command and at will? You can just go into a dream state or a trance.
No, no.
No.
And I mean, that's cool if other people can do that. I don't really feel the need to do that. Um, it, I'm not saying that people can't do that. It just sounds a little bit, super edgy. Like, oh, I can do it at will,
Right.
But yeah, I mean, even if people do that, and I've heard that as well, I don't really have an interest in knowing that. Um, if the spirits and the dynamic want me to learn how to do that, they will present that to me, along with everything else that they have been teaching me. And that doesn't seem to be one of them as of yet. So I just kind of go with what it is that I'm given, and that's when I'm asleep.
Okay.
And is
Go ahead.
dream walking, have you had lucid dreams, and would you say dream walking is different or similar to lucid dreaming?
Have you had lucid dreams? Would you say that dream walking is similar to a lucid dream, or is it different?
I would say that's pretty much what it is.
Okay.
I would say dream walking is that. It's not astral traveling. That's a
Okay.
little bit different. Though
Right.
I'm sure you could do both, and maybe I've done both as well. I mean, like, I come out of my body quite frequently when I'm sleeping, and I just stand over the bed and I can see myself sleeping.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's
Okay.
astral projection.
Right.
But as
Yeah.
far as dream walking with it, um, probably not as much as the lucid dreaming.
Very interesting.
Yeah. You got another question, Dr. Clutch?
Well, I have so many questions that we need another hour. So,
Yeah. He says he's got so many questions, but he needs another hour. He would like another.
Yeah.
But I mean, we pretty much need another. Would you come back on the show with us?
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
Totally. Oh
Heck
yeah,
yeah,
I totally
well-
would. And you guys ask your questions. I mean, if you guys have the time, I have the time right now. So
Hell yeah. Well, she says she has more time. How much
Oh.
more time can you go, Dr. Clutch?
I can give it another 30 minutes or so.
So you give another 30 minutes. Okay, so if you can do another 30 minutes, we'll do 30 minutes. Heck
Okay.
yeah. Going a little
yeah,
bit
because
longer.
there's some
and a
things
marathon this
I want to tell you guys too that I think is pretty rad. But
one. Okay,
but
let's
I
go
think
into
I
that.
might
Let's
be
go.
able to, when you guys ask me any questions, I might be able to, put
Weave
it in
it
there.
in.
Well, what question are we not asking you right now that you would like to get into the topic of what we're talking about, that you want to talk about? Let's talk about what you want to talk about. What question are we not asking?
Well, it's not that you guys aren't asking anything in particular. It's just something that I find interesting that I want to talk about.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So, I want to talk a little bit about AI because, people get pissy about that, and,
Got it. Yeah,
that always makes it a little interesting,
it does.
trying to understand people and where they're at. And with this particular series that I'm doing, I used AI as a part of that liminal state that I feel that it's in. We're advancing, but we're not quite from the past. We're not quite in the future. We're just kind of like at a very, like almost kind of like a possibility that's forming. And we have all these conspiracy theories of, oh, what if it happens like this? Everyone, sometimes it turns into a little bit like fear mongering a little bit. Um, and it's just kind of a part of that whole philosophy with this whole liminal state that we're doing. So I wrote a manifesto and an essay on that. And it really caused a lot of friction for people. And if you're listening to this and you're any of those people, hello. um, so people didn't really understand that, either that I'm not an artist, and maybe they didn't understand that I'm a visionary as well. And we can be misunderstood very easily in our work. So it does take a level of emotional intelligence, I guess, to look at art and actually understand it. So I think that's what happened. But I wanted to bring that up because I think I think it was misunderstood a lot about why I was bringing AI into it. Um, and that's just pretty much what I wanted to say about it.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that whenever you're doing any form of creation, you're doing a form of magic,
yeah,
and it
that's
used to
true.
be called the art before it was known as the occult, or if it was known as magic. Although the term magician would come in, even sorcerer back in the day, those old legends. But it used to be that at one point that those same people were the same astrologers. They were the ones that looked at the planets. They did mathematics. They did pretty much like just full medium of everything. And I just wanted to see if you thought the same, because I always thought that when you're creating stuff as an artist, you're peering into another reality, one that you either created or one that already existed. What is your
Oh,
thoughts
yeah.
on this?
Oh, no, totally. Uh, you know, it is, it's total magic because, magic is about, basically transforming your current state into a state that you want to happen based off of your will. So that's essentially what art is. We have different types of artists as well. Like we have different types of people that practice magic. So it really does go together. And I would say, yes, that is definitely a form of magic in itself.
Okay, Dr. Clutch, you have a question?
Yeah, so you're saying you use AI with your art. Is it, I guess that's what you're saying. So are you saying that there's like a consciousness connection with AI, or you what exactly are you saying?
Okay,
I guess.
he wants to know if there's like a consciousness connection with AI when
I
you're in
stopped
creation.
hearing you again.
Me? Who, me? Okay, okay. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second
So
here.
do you want me to go out and then come back in?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
Oh,
Just like yes or no.
yeah, if you need,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Give me a minute.
I'm going to go out and come back in. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to figure out certain things. You said that my headphones or my microphone was the clutch.
Oh, yeah, sometimes your microphone to pick up extra sounds.
Oh,
Like
okay. Well,
like
don't be
when you
afraid to
were.
let me know while I'm on the air, man. Okay, here. We're gonna add her to stage right quick. Can you hear us both
I
now?
can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear
Oh,
Dr. Clutch?
yes, I can hear him
There
now.
you
Oh
go.
wow,
Yay.
Shazam!
There you go.
There you
Okay.
go. That was me. You were right.
Well, hey,
Oh, it is what
it
it is.
happens because we've learned throughout our years here on being podcasters that anything can go wrong, can go sideways at any minute, and you have to just be able to plan for it the best you can. But
Yeah.
everything we made it work. See, we're making it work. We're doing magic
Yes.
together. Most people don't understand that magic comes from the word imagination.
Yes. Yes, it is. And I actually have something to say about that.
All right, please do.
Sure.
I would say, you know, as a visionary artist, um, we are basically, and this is not like me trying to have some sort of, ego trip. This is just kind of my my idea on what a visionary is and how that corresponds with magic. Um, Visionary artists are kind of like the architects of creating. Um, we actually create the capability to create. So we open up a whole nother door of how to create something that will manifest into this reality. and give way for other people to also create. And as a visionary artist, they are the architects of imagination because they're able to pull from nothing that has never been considered creation of any type and put it into visible form and for people to see.
Mhm.
And that kind of goes along with an invention that I'm doing, um, which I don't think if you weren't a visionary, you would even have this idea because first of all, everybody knows if you're a visionary, you're all about impractical things, questionable
Yeah.
things. Oh, this person's out of their mind. I mean, we're
Right.
crazy. I
Not
mean,
scientists. Yeah.
right, exactly. That's why I have a nickname. Is Dr. Spearstein, is what
Your
is
style.
what they call me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your
So
true name.
yes, that's my true name. Now you guys all know.
Now we
Dr.
have a secret title.
Spearstein.
Dr.
Um,
Spearstein.
so yeah, so that's kind of a part of what I was going to say is there's levels to art and creating magic. And I think that having visionary artists is really, really a part of how we learn to create. Like, computers, cars, all of these types of inventions were based off of visionary ideas, including theories of like, what's going on in space, the universe. It's the visionary mindset that creates those uh, portals for creating again. Like we get so many ideas of the universe, mainly just based off of visionary, bringing that into fruition for people to see.
Would you say that fictional reality affects our reality, or do we take from, say, what they would consider to be fictional reality from our minds, right, and then create it? I mean, is it almost like prophetic in that sense? I almost feel like it is as an artist.
That's a really good question because I've thought of that myself and have really analyzed it. And I can't come with a exact answer to that because I see it on both ends. And, you know, on one end, what we think is what our reality is, right? And then what our reality is sometimes what we think. It can go both ends. And then based off of that, we can create art based off of that. So I see it from both ends.
Yeah, definitely. Dr. Clutch?
Yeah. So back to AI and creating things that we're bringing into the world. Do you feel like AI has like a consciousness, or is it you're? I guess I'm saying I didn't quite wrap my head around what you were saying at the beginning when you were talking about AI and how you're using it with your art. In what way are you using it with your art or your ideas and magic, I guess?
Well, AI doesn't really have to do with magic. I mean, if you want to think about it as kind of like a catalyst to making something happen, I guess you could
Hmm.
say that. As far as consciousness goes, it's kind of more of a thought of expansion, kind of like a challenge of expanding the way that we think about things. And I put that into my art for this particular series that I'm doing because I feel that it's kind of a part of how humanity is transitioning from one state into another. Um, so that's where that falls into place. And
Oops.
then
Whoa. Sorry.
from
That was my bad.
from I started this invention that is art and science combined. At the time, because I've been doing this for about 10 years, about 7 years of it was research, and then about 3 years was actual like doing it and putting all of the theories into place. And we didn't have AI really. I mean, we did, but it wasn't advanced like it is now. And
Hmm.
so I was doing everything, you know, without some sort of data, interpretation of any kind. It was more of like, okay, this is working, this is not working, and just going through all the trials, right? You have to do that anyway, but not using AI.
Hmm.
Well, that's why it's taking so long as well. So, the thing that's cool about AI, and this corresponds with what we're talking about here, is that I'm able to use that now as an assistant to creating this new form of art that actually is a part of the whole um, thought of what a visionary is. And that is science and art really working together to create something different, which is really creating itself. So it's so basically, it's art creating itself, which
Hmm.
is kind of like an interesting way of thinking about it, kind of like can twist your mind a little bit. Um, and then introducing spirituality afterwards. It's a very complicated invention that I'm doing that basically starts electromagnetic energy and uses kind of like a grid of electricity in the back of like a metal. I'm still doing, which type of material would work best, but I use that metal frame to then use magnetized paint.
Hmm.
Um, and different colors are affected by certain magnetic fields. If you study geology and the way certain rocks and minerals change color, it's all based off of it changes based off of the fields around them as well. So that's how it works with that too. And once I was able to actually get that part down, I wanted to introduce it to actually creating its own sound through like a processor. So essentially, the sound well, it's not the sound of it, but the actual electrical waves from the electromagnetic field actually will work with the actual color that pronounces its own sound through the processor. And it's kind of hard to explain all that because it's not quite done.
So
But because I have,
are you like consulting with AI about the electromagnetic aspects and things that like the theory of what's going on here, or how?
no, the first 7 years of this invention, I used to really research, um, work with physicists
Hmm.
and geologists, and really try to study, how these things are going to react. How is this even possible? Is it possible? Um, and the things definitely, this won't work. Don't do this. Um, and that's kind of how I started realizing it, that I needed to do this invention. Had nothing to do with AI because I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't even really know what AI was around that time.
Right.
It kind of seemed a little bit more fictional, it was kind of
Hmm.
like not really anything big. But now, since it has advanced so much, I can use it as an assistant. And really, the way I would use it uh, to basically, catch the data and interpret it into sound.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be more like of an interpreter of what's going on with the actual painting and then putting it into sound. So, there's so much to do with it, and it's so complicated that it's even hard to explain without you coming over and like looking at what it is that I'm doing, because then I can
Hmm.
explain it better. And I can't explain too much anyway because it's not completely finished. And we got sneaky people, you know? So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there was one point I was going to work with ASU, which is Arizona State University, and kind of, explore this a little bit more. But then I thought, you know what? That's not a good idea because they just are going to put their name on it, you
We'll
know?
just take it all. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, I'd rather sit on this for however many years that is. Hopefully, I'll be able to accomplish it before I die, which I think I will be able to now because of AI. So,
That's nice to have
people
help.
are
Yeah.
very, oh, AI, not creating, painting art, what looks like painting art because it's copying someone else's art. Totally understandable. I'm an artist. I get it.
Hmm.
But I think that they're trying to use AI in the wrong way to actually create something that hasn't been created because AI is an assistant for that. And if you're just using it to create things that are already created, that's not art.
Right.
And
That's
that's
just
and yeah, it's not
copying.
art.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a replica of a replica, and that's not art either. So when people are upset about it, in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, that's not cool, but it's not art either. It's
Mhm.
just,
Yeah.
it's to me, I see it a little bit as a admiration for art. But, people take it somewhere else, and that's fine. I understand that. But I also see it from a visionary perspective, of creating something from nothing. And, that translates into my perception of it. So using AI as an assistant to do this is coincides with what you were asking. And I was
Mm.
it yeah, so there you go.
Would you say
That is
that
interesting.
that these entities, whether they be of of the dark vibration or light vibration, do you find them to be, when it comes to AI at some certain points, do you find some of them to be almost like cybernetic like, or even like, because they kind of have to interface with you, right?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
do you do you find them to be almost like interaction with an AI? And just
Well,
asking, you know.
no, it's very interesting that you're asking that because a part of this invention that I'm doing, um, once I can get that down, when I'm able to process the sound, I'm going to start experimenting more with sigils and
Hmm.
possibly hyper sigils and really almost kind of like giving way for spirits in the dynamic to actually create their own art, and it actually gets uh, processed through sound as well, so they could say whatever they want, they can do whatever they want as far as verbally. So it's kind of like also my way of telling people in the science community, hey, this is a science too, science and the spirit, we're all a part of one thing. And it would be kind of like, hey, look, we just turned the spiritual into your science by using your scientific means to say is the only way to see something. And so that's going to be probably the last part of this invention, and that part is the most exciting part to me.
Mm. Sometimes I think science is a little monotheistic. It was pointed out to me that it is sort of taken over monotheism, and like the science is the only way, and they like to easily discard people that are interested in magic and art. Does that concern you at all?
Uh, it doesn't concern me. I mean, I don't really give a crap about any of those ideas or opinions,
Right.
but I do give a crap about my own. And if that means I can prove that what they're saying is wrong through action, I'm totally cool about that because I don't really have to say anything. I'll
Hmm.
just do something and be, if I can't do it, what's the point of saying it? Because it's just going to turn into an argument, right? Or some
Right.
sort of like, contradictory conversation that leads nowhere. So, if I can do this, then I won't even have to talk. It'll
Right.
just be
You just
like, here you go. Here you
let
go.
the
What do you
evidence
got
do
to
the
say now?
talking. Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah, yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
nice. That sounds like you want to have a CE5 controlled CE5 experience. Like when it comes to an entity, you want to be able to communicate more
Yeah.
so than more clear. Correct.
Yes, because I mean, I know some people say they can actually hear, spirits or gods, like actually hear it. And that's fine. But, as far as my experience goes, I don't actually hear it. I just hear it in my mind's eye or feel it in my body. And then
Mhm.
it's like it translates into a thought. But I want it to actually translate the thought and whatever the feeling is through art and into the actual, our reality. So it's like heard and seen at the same time through
Hmm.
art. And, possibly maybe even if I'm able to get that to work with the sigils, spirits or the dynamic of any or entity of any kind can maybe produce its own music and we'll be able to hear it through that. So, I have all these impractical ideas, I know, but like I said, this is a part of the whole game of creating.
So
Um,
where can people find your art and your work here? Yeah, I presume you have a website or.
I do, but I've taken it down recently and I'm
Mhm.
redoing it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm redoing it. But as far as finding me, I'm on Instagram and I am on
Okay.
Facebook. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I have my own like Facebook page, not just
Okay.
my personal one. My personal one is kind of for people that are on my same wavelength as far as belief
Hmm.
wise. Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't really feel like dealing with people personally, like that are gonna, oh, Jesus and God and that sort of thing. I just,
You
I
don't
have
want
to
to deal
deal
with
with
that? What
that
do you
anyway. I'm not,
mean?
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not really
definitely.
gonna deal with that. I actually deleted so many people, everybody on my Facebook that was like that.
Yeah.
Family, friends. And I had to tell them all, I'm like, hey, this isn't personal. I'm not able to share certain things with you guys.
Right. Yeah.
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 So, one
How
Well,
it
part,
let's
goes.
go ahead. Sorry.
oh, I was just going to say one really, cool part of this also, this AI um, concept that I am trying to use to create is also the study and creation of nanoparticles. And
Hmm.
nanoparticles can be introduced to magnetized paint. And depending on the material that you use for that, it can it can work off electricity. It can actually show color that is not even perceived to our actual eyes that we use now. So it would be pretty much colors that we never even knew existed.
Yeah.
It can turn colors iridescent. It can turn colors metallic. It can turn colors into colors that we never even knew existed. And that is cool too. And I would have never been able to know about that or even think about it when I first started this. So it kind of goes back to AI as well, because AI knows how to work with nanoparticles.
That is
Yeah.
exciting. At least somebody
Yeah.
knows how, and as long it's okay if it's AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we're going to do a little bit of plugs here, and we're going to let you go ahead and plug away here in 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and get that music up. For all that were listening in today, this was not only a Dark Matters Weird News World News episode, but it was an interview with Ann Rose Walker. Yes, and the crowd loves that one. Yes, they do. And you, yes, indeed. So for all those that are listening in, settle down. Yes, we are going to go into a little bit of plug music where we shamelessly endorse ourselves. And without further ado, we're going to give it away. Ann Rose Walker.
Yes.
Go ahead and plug away.
What do you want me to plug away?
Whatever you want to plug right now, whatever you want to be thankful
books,
for, what you want
yourself,
to, any stuff where they can find you. Like once again.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram under j.gentile and on Facebook under j.gentile as well. And then, of course, when I get my website up and working, I will be adding that to those two sites. Oh, and I'm also on TikTok as well, but, not everybody goes on there.
Yeah, all right. Let's go over to Dr. Clutch. Plug away.
All right. Hopefully you can hear me. If you'd like to check me out, I have a website or Substack, as it were, at drclutch.substack.com. Oh, what else would I like to plug? If you'd like to check out...
Oh, you just cut out there, man. You just cut out there. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you cut out there. Well, then I'll plug. I'll do some plugs. Hey, Clutch, you're cut there for a second. I don't know what happened. Your mic just went, he can't unmute it. So, welcome to the Of Dark Matters podcast. We will be on every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. You can find us here every Saturday on X, Facebook, and you can find us also on YouTube on our main channel. I hope Dr. Clutch comes back. That would be okay. If not, you can also find me under MoJoE the Mad on Substack.
You just cut out.
Oh, did I cut out too? Did I cut out too? Wow, okay. Well, then we're going to have to come back. Hold on 1 second here. All right,
There.
I'm
Now
back.
I can wait. I almost heard you.
Yeah, my earbuds faded.
Oh, see,
Okay,
I can
well,
hear
we'll
you. I
go ahead
just
and
can't
finish it.
hear.
Okay, well, go ahead and I'll figure this one out. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I was just going to plug drclutch.substack.com, and if you'd like to check out my music, check out clutchnificent.com. And I'll just keep it simple. What's that? What?
Hear me now?
Am I what?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay, you can hear me now. All right.
I can't
so
hear you. I can only hear Dr. Clutch.
Okay, well then you might have to go in and come back out. That's all.
What did he say?
It's weird like that. Okay. Anyway.
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to plug
yes.
away. So you can find me on Please Stand By, which was on SoundCloud, which was a former show that we did with Dr. Clutch, where you can find us doing into this current evolution of what this podcast is. You can find me and my music under MoJoE the Man, the Drama Llama Ding Dongs, both not only in video over on YouTube, but you can find it on SoundCloud, where you can find sketches and parts of ads that I made and all sorts of music that I used to create. You can find me on Facebook as well and on Instagram, both under MoJoE the Man and Of Dark Matters podcast. I want to thank everyone that came here today. We're going to go ahead and thank Ann Rose Walker. Yay! All right, go ahead and let her know that I say we're saying thank you for being here. And if you could, Dr. Clutch.
Yes.
Can you hear? I don't think she can hear me.
Can she hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yep. Okay, so MoJoE says thank you for being here.
Oh, yes, thank you for having me. I'm
yes,
so glad I was able
Yeah, hopefully you can come back on another time where we don't have so many schmelting accidents in audio.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, we'll have. This is our rough draft of our next draft. So
That's cool. Yeah, that would be great. You guys are so
Excellent.
awesome.
well, thank
Yeah,
you.
of course.
We appreciate it.
And we'll keep in touch. Let her know
Yeah.
we'll keep in touch.
We will keep in touch. Mojo says.
Okay,
Okay,
yes, most
good.
definitely. Thank you
All
again.
right.
Excellent.
You have a good night. Okay.
Okay.
Have
Bye.
a good night. He said.
You too. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
For all
Okay,
those that are
bye.
listening in, this
Nice
is
to
the
see you
end.
guys. Talk to you later.
See you.
Good to see you.
Bye. For all those that are listening in, this is the end of the Of Dark Matters podcast. We will be back on next Saturday, where we will have special guest from Spain, Ignomatic. We'll be talking about his music, his life, his esoteric thought process, and creation. See, we're not just a show about the paranormal, the occult, and world news and conspiracy of all types. We're also there to give a voice to artists of all types as well. Especially want to go deep dive into this one. This one's not to be a show to be missed. For all those that are tuning in, I want to say thank you for being here. Mia Starfire, let's see here, who else was here? I believe Mike Honcho was here. A whole bunch of people were here for a little bit. Thank you for bearing with us with an extra extended episode of Dark Matters. I want to thank you all for being here, and we're going to go ahead and end this. You have yourself a wonderful night. And
All of us here at the Of Dark Matters podcast would like to thank all of our listeners that tune in to us every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for listening and good night. This has been a production of Mojo Mojito Production.